Javi on the other way, on the other side, bro. The Kings win 119-105. It's always good when Javi smiles because you know something good happened. Because when he's not, he's like, nah, he's like shaking his head. Hey, I like that smile, bro. And let's keep these positive vibes going in the right direction. How you feeling today?
Hey, I'm feeling great. Eccentric with the win, and all is well in Kingsland for the night. Got to capitalize on that coming back to Sacramento on Wednesday.
That's right. Right after the game, which we'll be discussing, the Kings made a trade. The first trade of this season. And I was shocked. It was a big-time Woj bomb. The Kings traded for Mfiondu Kabengele, a former first-round pick in 2019. The kid has talent, without question. He has talent, and the Kings used their trade exception. It worked out. It was a win-win for the Clippers. They got under the cap, under the hard cap, and then the Kings got a young prospect to develop. I like it, man. Did you get a chance to watch the video that I posted?
I watched it. I just thought, for one, I really didn't see why the Clippers did it because they drafted him such a short time ago, rather, in the 2019 NBA draft. But I do see why they're trying to get under their hard cap. I mean, essentially, the Kings exchange second-round picks, and they get a young promising forward that they can evaluate over the next 30 games or so. And, I mean, they now have the bird rights to him, I'm assuming, and they can do whatever they want. So, I mean, really athletic, lengthy, I wouldn't say superstar potential, but, hey, whatever pack you can punch coming from that bench, and he can provide what, they hoped in Parker or whoever else. I mean, Bielitsa's always on the move. They can definitely plug and play him to spell Holmes, Barnes, whoever else they run at the power forward position, etc. So I think overall it was a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely. It's again, low risk, high reward type of deal. And they can even flip him if another team likes him even more. Say they want to get spicy with some trades. We'll be getting into the whole trade deadline on Thursday. We'll have a special edition show that day as well. Whether the Kings make a move or not, we'll be there live covering that event. Tonight, though, before we get into all the other stuff, the Marvin Bagley, the John Collins, all the speculation that we're hearing, which is what the juicy part of the show will probably be, and that's what a lot of fans want to get to. Let's talk about tonight. Great victory. I mean, the Cavs aren't great, but this was a must-win for this team, especially with so much noise coming into this game, and a lot of the stuff, multiple sources telling me that, right, which is what I reported last show, that there could be some meddling going on with Vivek, and then today I got, by other sources saying that that's not true, that Monty is in complete control. But then you see Sam Amick report certain things, and I have multiple people telling me different things, and you're just like, the truth is somewhere in the middle. So there's a lot of smoke screen going on. I don't know what the plan is. The one thing we do know, though, is that nobody in the media actually knows Monty McNair. A lot of it because of COVID protocols. We haven't had a chance to meet him. So right now there's a lot of speculation. She said, he said type of stuff. And it just comes down to who do you trust the most in terms of your sources. And it's going to be interesting to see what he does on Thursday. But what was your biggest takeaway from tonight's game?
Well, first and foremost, like I've said all year, this team goes through the swiper. And, when you look at De'Aaron, he had a phenomenal game. And this is a thing that you have to look in week in, week out, game in and game out, is that the Kings go through De'Aaron Fox. And the reason why we brought up previous trade proposals is because we want somebody to not give him a break, but, to help him ease the load. And like you've seen tonight, Barnes had an off night. And Tyrese Haliburton met that deficiency in avoided scoring that he tends to bring. But overall, I mean, yeah, they played a bad Cavaliers team, but let's not get it twisted. The Kings aren't the best team either. I mean, they're
Yeah.
17, they're 18 and 25, and the Cavaliers are 16 and 27. But you look at the box score. I mean, De'Aaron had 28. Excuse me, he had 36 and 6. Tyrese Haliburton had 28, 1 and 2. I mean, Buddy had, good night, 19, 6 and 2. Rashawn Holmes, again, 17, 16 and 3. That's what I really want to talk about because
Okay.
we literally look at this team and, this 25th of March is coming. I mean, it's in less than 3 days now. And the rumors, the Raptors, another team, I think the Celtics, I think one more, I think the Clippers, another team presume interested in Rashawn Holmes. We need to keep him, man. Like him and Harrison. I mean, I love Buddy Hield. He'd be the only one, but again, like I just this team's void is on the bench and obviously in their star. But I mean, look at De'Aaron. I mean, again, they played horrible against Philadelphia on a back-to-back. De'Aaron, I think, had 16 points. I mean, again, like that's not fair to ask him, but the Kings would be successful when he goes for 25 plus every game. And even if they want to lose, they won't lose by 24 like they did on Saturday if he goes for 25 or 30. And I feel bad for him, but he does get paid 196 million over 5, so then I don't anymore. But again, like I just I just look at it as if we give him somebody to pair next to, like, I've said Halliburton and Hill for Bradley Beal. But again, like that's the upside I'm talking about. Like that's why the Wizards will consider. I mean, Halliburton had 28, 1 and 2, and I mean, granted, like they're the Cavaliers, but still, he's 20 years old. Like that's a
Right.
guy. If we have to
Right.
keep him, or not have to keep him, but if we do keep him, like I'm happy. But again, I just want to give De'Aaron more opportunity, not to take a night off, but to feel like I can take a deep breath if I don't, stride up the court, drive to the cup, the fastest player in the league, and I get blocked, fouled, shot block, whatever. He feels like he has to make a play every single time he gets to the interior, and I'm just trying to help him with that, so to speak, with trying to find proposals. But overall, they played successful defense in regards to their scheme, and offensively, their concepts always work. They can run with anybody, and they put up 119, and they actually played, some competent defense tonight, which was, something that we're not used to.
Going back to your point about the Wizards and this magical hypothetical trade that we've been talking about for a long time now, uh, my guy on Instagram named Ben Bagby, he said, and you wanted to trade Halliburton for Beal. Laughing out loud, and I said, I still would. And I love Tyrese. I said, Beal is a 30-point man every night. He's only 27, top 13 player in the NBA. You acting like I want to trade him for a scrub or a random, is what I responded. He said, Halliburton will become a better player than Beal is currently, and he fits the timeline with Fox better than Beal does. And he said, does Beal defend? Halliburton will get stronger when he grows into his body. He was the only player since 93 to average over 2 steals and 2 blocks collegiately. I said, better player, question mark. You lose, and I said this respectfully. I said, you lose nothing by saying this. No repercussions to your credibility. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's easy to say something like this after this type of game. Obviously, if I say it, there's a little bit of weight to it because people will look to and either say I was right or I was wrong, and my credibility either goes up or it goes down. So obviously, if I say that, it holds a little bit more weight in that sense. Like a fan after a game can be so excited and say, "Man, I wouldn't trade Halliburton for anybody." And I've always said there is a price for every single player in the NBA. So there is no exception to Tyrese Haliburton, and I love the kid. And he said, give me a playmaker who plays defense who was just a few years younger than Fox. I want to see these two together for the next decade. It's just what I believe. He said, fam, I love Halliburton. When he develops his dribble game and grows into his man body, he will be like Scottie Pippen without the dunks, but a better shot. And I said, that's cool, brother. I got love for you. We can agree to disagree on this one. I think Tyrese has a great shot to be an all star, but Beal is not far out of a top 10 player. That's insane. I don't want to wait 7, 8 years for that, but that's just me. Um, are you hearing the echo? Am I?
I don't hear it, man.
Okay, because I'm kind of hearing myself. Anyways, so that's pretty much what I said. And again, it's all love. We can agree or disagree on this one. I would still trade Tyrese if it came down to it. And I know every single GM, all 30 of them, would also trade Tyrese for Bradley Beal. But obviously, that's not on the table, and we can move on from that. But I just feel like, and we keep saying this and keep harping on this, fans fall in love with young prospects who haven't proven enough over a guy who was literally not that far off from being a top 10 player. Do y'all understand how difficult it is to be a top 10 player in the NBA? How good, how consistent you have to be. And he's hovering over. He's like, to me, he's like 13, roughly around there. That is that is difficult to be in that position and to sustain it there. Once you get there,
Hmm.
how are you gonna sustain it? That's the real question. And Bradley Beal is moving up every single day, and he's getting better, man. And man, like, will Tyrese ever be as good as him? I'm gonna say no, but he's a different type of player. Like he can be his best version of himself. I think too many fans get caught up. Oh, well, this guy will be better than this guy. Like, no, I get it, but if I had to bet on it, I would say Bradley Beal is. He'll probably end up being better.
This is what I'll say, and it's no fault of that fan and many others. I mean, I've been also a victim of this. We're privy to become prisoners of the moment,
Yeah,
and he put up 28, 1 and 2 tonight. Great night, but can you guys look at me as well as look at yourself and tell anybody you're talking to that Tyrese Haliburton over the next 3 years, if not 5 years, is going to be a better scorer and better overall player than Bradley Beal? No. I mean, you can
yeah,
say he will, but in 7 years, De'Aaron Fox can be 31. Like, and I love, bro. Tyrese Haliburton was the best player I think outside of LaMelo Ball in this draft. Those are 1A, 1B at this current juncture in the NBA season. But again, like, this is not, oh, you're trading Bradley Beal for Isaiah Thomas, who's a free agent. Like, this is Bradley, or excuse me, this isn't Tyrese Haliburton for Isaiah Thomas. Bradley Beal being exchanged for Tyrese Haliburton is bringing a superstar caliber player that can statistically make this team better in ways they have not explored since the mid 2000s. Like, this is not like we're trading scraps,
yeah,
you know, a pile of dog poo poo. Like, this is like a great rookie for a superstar in his league. And it's not even about opinion. This isn't subjectivity. This is something that we're just saying. This is proven with statistical facts. Like, and I want Tyrese to be a Sacramento King, but you can't get a star and give them back
nothing. Yeah,
contracts and, second round picks. It don't work that way. Like, the Kings know they're going to want young talent back, and the Wizards know that we have some coveted assets that are younger that could definitely benefit their future. And also, they know Sacramento, in some respects, are desperate to presumably acquire a star for De'Aaron Fox's tenure here. He signed a 5-year max contract with the Kings, getting the maximum amount he can get at $196 million. They're not looking at the Kings as if, oh, well, I mean, they're not going to just give us, Nemanja and Corey Joseph. I mean, because they're going to be winning. No, they're trying to find a way to win. Like, you have to build a contender with stars. And I love Tyrese, man, but
yeah. Me
28 tonight,
too.
he'll go for 12 tomorrow or on Wednesday. I mean,
Yeah,
Bradley put up 30 every game.
yeah. And Tyson makes a good point. He said, I think Tyrese will be like CJ McCollum, and CJ has been playing like an all star his whole career. That's a really nice analogy or a nice comparison. But CJ McCollum ain't Bradley Beal. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I
No,
love
but
CJ. Like, I
but
love CJ. CJ was promised that he was going to get drafted at 7, and I remember that. And I remember that because I was covering the team,
yeah.
and then Ben McLemore slipped because Anthony Bennett went number 1, and that really threw a fork into the entire draft. I think Depot went number 2, and then obviously Ben slipped to 7, and the Kings were in a sense forced to take a oh my god this guy slipped when they should have gone with their actually scouting report and with their promise, and possibly the future could have been a little bit different. But I love CJ. I love CJ. Consummate professional, class acts, great teammate, great player, but he's not Bradley Beal. And CJ will tell
Mm-hmm.
you that. Like, he's not Bradley Beal. But if Tyrese does end up being CJ, I'd be very happy, especially if you draft him at number 12. That's a lot of value for a guy at number 12. I would
Yeah.
be a-okay with that. And again, we're not saying we want to. We're so anxious to trade him. Like, don't put out misinformation out like that. All we're saying is if there was ever an availability of trading for a guy like Bradley Beal, he would be the piece because you can't just trade average role players, above average players for a guy like Bradley Beal. Like, you have to give up something substantial, something that is of value to another team like the Wizards. And that guy, unfortunately, is Tyrese Haliburton. But again, we love him. I feel like both Javi and I would say that we want him to be Fox's running mate for the next decade if this deal would never happen. But there is a preference of of our list of what we would want to happen. But we're a-okay with Tyrese. Like, make no mistake about that. Well, we're just
Yes.
saying, if it comes down to getting the superstar, you gotta make a trade. Like, he
And
is the piece to get rid of because he's the only value of piece that any team would want besides Fox. And at that point, there's no point in trading in Fox unless
yeah.
Tyrese just like kills it next year and he magically becomes better than Fox. Then you can get rid of Fox. But I think the odds of that are kind of slight.
Slim to none. But
Yeah.
I have one counter argument to what the commenter said, and I respect what he said. Tyrese Haliburton is CJ McCollum, and Bradley Beal is Damian Lillard. Like, that's really what it comes down to. Like, you want to compare players like
Yeah.
Bradley Damian Lillard. Who's the better of those two? Like, it ain't even close. Like, CJ McCollum's a great guard, but that team goes to Damian Lillard, like the guy who shoots 4-point shots for a living outside of Steph. He's the only one doing it. I'm not saying Bradley Beal has that range. I'm saying he's that type of perennial scorer. Like, Tyrese Haliburton, great. CJ McCollum. Bradley Beal got that Damian Lillard effect. I mean, and that's proven with statistical. I mean, he's leading the NBA in scoring. Like,
Yeah.
nothing else. And I respect the comment. I love CJ McCollum, but I'm gonna take Dame over CJ 12 times out of 10 and twice on Sundays. Every time in the All-Star game and 5 times over in the NBA Finals, no matter what team they're playing. So
Agreed. Let's move on to the next topic, which we already covered the Cavs game. We haven't covered Marvin Bagley in the trade that was negated
that
or
was the
declined. It was declined by the Pistons, which
let's
again
put the rat on the
just
table.
just shows you how low value Marvin Bagley has, and it's unfortunate that it's gone this low. But as Javi said all year, if you're not getting Sadiq Bey back or a similar type player, I'm not trading him for anybody. Like, I'm not going to give him up like that because at the end of the day, he is the number 2 pick, and if he can just somehow accept his role off the bench, which I think would be best for him, like coming off the bench and being a scoring threat, because we know he's not going to be good defensively, but if he can come and get you 14 points off the bench, I'd be a-okay with that, and I'll roll with the $11 million next year and then the qualifying offer the following year, or yeah, so it'd be 11 next year.
14.6 or
Yeah,
14.8 for the 2021, 2022, 2021, 2022 season for the 2023, 2020, 2022, 2023 season, but it's 11.6 in the fall.
right,
Yeah.
right. So yeah, if I'm not getting a guy like Sadiq Bey or somebody similar to him, there's no way I get rid of Bagley. It's just I can't like just say, well, I'm gonna cut my losses because Bagley could be productive off the bench, and that's the type of role optimization that a good coach would put him in the best situations to succeed, especially early on at this juncture of his career. I think that would give him confidence playing against second units, get him going. If he's playing well, you reward him. If not, he plays his role. That's simple. But to get rid of him for just absolutely like, oh, just get rid of him for a second round pick, like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm keeping him. But if he gets Sadiq Bey, I'd be okay with that.
At the end of the day, let me make sure this is correct. It's 11.3 in the 2021-2022 NBA season, and then if they do extend him with the RFA, offer sheet as a restricted free agent in the 2022 summer. He'll make 14.8 in the 2022-2023 NBA season, which again
Okay.
is not bad for a score off the bench, but he's not privy to make that amount for a bench role for a player coming off as a six-man at best. 11.3 in this coming season, 14.8 in the season after that, in 2022-2023. So you look into 2021, 2022, this is how I see it. If we recall 2 seasons ago, Marvin Bagley played really dang good coming off the bench when Dave Yeager really had this team rolling. And he didn't like his role, but we remember, if you really want to rewind the hands of time, him and Bogdanovich and Farrell and Harry Giles and, I mean, Justin Jackson really didn't do a whole lot. But those four were really good off the bench for us in critical moments. And Marvin Bagley, in those 60 games he played, I mean, do you guys remember the Warriors game when they lost by 5? Marvin Bagley went nuts, though. Like, that's why I'm not giving up on him unless I get, like, he was a tremendous scorer. I'm not giving up on him for nickels and pennies, and I'm not trading him for 50 cents on the dollar. I'm not trading him for 75 cents on the dollar. I might be considered to trade him between 90, 95 cents on the dollar. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to give up the second overall pick, no matter how bad or how much of a blunder and miss it was to take, him over Luka. In the day, he's shown a lot of good flash in this league that year. Yeah, he's played horrible defensively, and Luke has not used Buddy right. He hasn't used him right. He hasn't used a few other players right offensively. But I still remember those games, and I know you do too, Leo, because Luka Doncic might not be here, but Marvin Bagley played tremendous that year when he had his minutes and opportunities on the bench, and he wasn't even playing a lot of minutes. I mean, I think he went for 35 plus. I'm gonna look it up to make sure I reference back correctly. But what I'm
Would you
saying,
trade him for Malik Monk? I would.
no, you would?
I would, yeah.
No, Malik Monk's not even gonna get an offer sheet, Leo. They're gonna let him walk. You can get, I guarantee you, come summertime, and they
Malik Monk in the first?
no. Well,
I would.
okay,
I would.
okay, but how high is that pick gonna be? 15th overall?
No, probably like 18, 19.
Like, come on, Leo, come on, man. Malik Monk don't even play. He
Malik
doesn't.
Monk plays. Malik Monk
How many
put
minutes he
up
playing tonight? 15, 20 minutes?
Malik. I
Who
mean,
has better upside in this league, Leo?
he's a year younger, so
Who has more upside?
Malik.
You think Malik Monk has more upside?
I do think that. Let me
Are you gonna
see.
play him at the 3 and then have Barnes play the 4?
No, he's a legit guard. He played.
That's what I'm saying. What are you gonna do with him? That's what I'm
He
saying. Like, you're
played
gonna have your
27
backup power.
minutes. He played 27 minutes. He was 1 of 6 from 3, 11 points, 3 assists. He didn't have a great game today, but
What I'm saying is, brother, where are you gonna play him? As your backup point guard, your backup shooting guard? You can't play the power forward. I mean, you said he's a guard.
backup shooting guard.
You can't play small forward right now. You can't put him there.
Backup shooting guard.
Backup shooting guard.
So they'd probably play well together. Again, 3 guard lineups.
That's worth Bagley.
Yeah.
I just
Would you trade him for Sadiq Bey?
no.
No?
No,
That's fair.
because
we can
Sadiq
agree.
Bey
It's okay.
is a good.
We have to agree on everything.
No, I'm just saying he's a good future caliber 3, but he's drafted. You're not trading the second overall pick for an 18 or 19 overall player. If I'm the Kings, I'm packaging him with Hield, Holmes, or Barnes. Probably not Holmes. They're probably not gonna want 2 big men. And I'm gonna get something that's gonna bring us some value, like a player, and that might be a. I'll include a couple first. Like, people are like, don't trade Tyrese Haliburton. Say the Wizards not lose their mind, but they lose 10 straight. I'm offering them Buddy, Marvin, and 3 first. And whether that's, Kings fans think I'm crazy. Hey, why not try? Like, what's their worst they're gonna say is no? Like, I'm not saying that's like, say Marvin has a epiphany when he comes back in 15 games and he averages 20 and 8 for the last 10 games. You can't call him in the summer if we don't trade Buddy. Like, hey, we'll give you Buddy, Marvin, and 2 first. What's up? Like, I'm not saying they'll do that, but at the end of the day, it's like the Kings fans that want to trade him. Like, I'm not a pro tanker, but if you want to trade Marvin Bagley, like, I'm not letting him go for 75 cents on the dollar. I feel like Sadiq Bey is 70 cents on the dollar, brother. And I know he has a good overall future in his league for where he's picked, where he's drafted, what he's done, his development, his points per game. But you look at it in the long run, like,
So
I don't
Malik
see
Monk
it.
is averaging 12.4 points a game on 41.8% from 3 and then 80% from the free throw line.
How many minutes a game?
21.3. It's pretty
Because
good.
Bagley's averaging 14 and 8 and 24 minutes a game.
Yeah, but this is a guard.
I know,
And I
but
take a guard over a big any day.
but technically, whether you want to say he's a starter or not, he's technically at this given time. If he was on the court, he'd be our starting power forward. He wouldn't even start on our team though, Malik Monk. He wouldn't even start on our team. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
But like Bagley shouldn't start either, though. Like
but he
Bagley's not
does
one of
though.
your
But
top
technically,
five.
he does though.
I know, but both you and I know that he's not one of your best 5 players. Our starting lineup is what we're seeing today, and the
Yes.
Kings are now 3-1 with Tyrese in the starting lineup. There's no secret to this. Bagley was
Yes.
never Bagley should have never been in the starting lineup because the Kings have had this agenda to allow him to fail or succeed, to allow him to play his game when he hasn't earned that right to go one-on-one, to like do all these things. Like, no, play within yourself. And when he does play within himself, when he plays within the offense, he plays okay. But he should be coming off the bench. And if your argument is, well, he's number 2 pick, Malik Monk was the number, what was he, number 8? And 20, he was what, 10? What was he, 11? He was like,
And
no, he wasn't 10. He was
no,
11. He was 11 or 9 or 8. I don't know, but again, he's still a high pick. I remember that some people had Malik going top 5. It depended on how, like, if Philly would have stayed, I think they had 3. They really liked Monk. It just depends, bro. Like, I would trade
he was picked
Bagley for
11th.
Monk and just give him a fresh start.
He was picked 11th.
Okay, 11.
Yeah. I just see it like this, man.
I think you're overvaluing Bagley.
No, I'm not. I know his values went down, but in the day, there's 2 things that have been proven with what I said. The Kings, like I said before, have started him to showcase him because they don't see him in their future plans. That's why all these trade rumors are coming about. Number 2, I'm not saying I'm overvaluing Marvin Bagley, but I want to make sure it's known. I want to get somebody that I know can contribute to this team right now, but also in 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. Not somebody who's going to take 3 years to develop. Not somebody who's going to be here for half a year and then leave. I want somebody to come be part of this future process the way Marvin Bagley was supposed to. And I know we can't sit there and have our cake and eat it too. Like, hey, Marvin Bagley didn't pan out.
So you can't see Malik being that guy?
Huh?
You can't see Malik being that guy?
I just see it as there's a lot of better options at the backup point guard position that we can acquire for less compensation, or we could also acquire free agency. It's easy. Not my estimation. It's easier to find a backup point guard or a backup shooting guard rather than a guy that you can package with Marvin Bagley to go get a perennial second option, if not go-to option. And teams that are going to give up, they're going to want to play like Marvin Bagley. In my estimation, they're going to want, because the teams that are going to like.
What if he doesn't play well next year? Then you might have to settle for a 2nd-round pick. That's the risk that. But I know, but that's.
I mean, if
that's
you got
the
4
risk that
years
you're
out of him
taking.
and he doesn't play well, I mean, you don't got to pay him. Like, I know what you're saying. Like, if you don't play well, we'll get nothing for him. If he ain't playing well next year, who's gonna pay him? You know what I mean? Like, he ain't like he's gonna get paid anyway. Like, I know what you're saying. Like, oh, get the best you can get for him now. I just don't see, because if he played 36 minutes, I think Marvin Bagley would average 18 and 10.
But if he played 36 minutes, this team is going to be god awful.
Oh, touche.
There you go. So it's like it's hard.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, even if we were bad, if he averaged 18 or 20 and 8, teams were like, okay, look at Marvin Bagley. Like, he's averaging 20 and 10, 20 and 8. Like, I'll give you.
No, but teams know. I mean, smart teams know.
We've seen worse trades, brother. I mean, Dwayne Dedman got traded for Jabari Parker and Alex Lynn, and they took that contract on. I don't know why they took that contract on when they did it, and then they found a way to get out of it because Detroit's a more incompetent franchise than Atlanta. Like, we got 2 expiring. We got expiring Lynn and then a year of Parker for Dwayne Dedman, who got 39 over 3. Like, it was something ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but Lynn's not on the roster, and then Jabari's not very good. So
I'm saying the Atlanta Hawks agreed to that trade.
They agreed to that trade because he had chemistry with that organization, and that's where he played his best brand of basketball. And
True, but the reason why I'm
and
saying that, they didn't even agree to re-sign him in the offseason when they had the opportunity.
no, I mean he was signed, but they ended up waiving him because they ended up getting another big. I think they drafted Onyekwa. Who
Oh yeah, the
again,
future center.
this may be crazy. If this was ever on the table, I
Oh
would
no, don't
trade
say it.
Bagley for Onyekwa. Like
Oh my.
like in a heartbeat. Like I
Oh
wouldn't even
my.
think twice about that. I'd be like, okay, Kings fans, if y'all want a real unknown, like if you want a potential guy who can play really good defense and who can anchor your defense, and for now could just be a nice backup to Rashawn for the next 2 years, then that's your guy.
Leo.
Move on.
Leo. He's had a quote unquote down year for where we thought he should be at. But let's look at just one thing, okay? When he was where we thought
Someone
he
said
should be, right?
Metu was better than Bagley.
Oh, okay. Now we're just throwing slander out, okay? So like,
Yeah,
okay,
that's pretty.
let's just look at something real quick, okay? So when we go back and look at things like in a respectable sense, right? Marvin Bagley, granted, he has had some, we'll say less than stellar days in Sacramento, right? But at the same time, let's just say we trade him and he becomes a star, and we got a backup point guard and a 20th overall pick in the first round. Are you going to be saying, "Oh well," or are you going to be like, "Dang man, we probably should have kept him"? Like, I just, I don't know. Oh, the game that he had 29 and 14. Excuse me, he had 28 and 14 against the Warriors. Yeah, just a year ago on February 21st, 2019. That was that Jaeger year. That was 2 years ago now, but he had 28-14. That was a game he went nuts. I know we're laughing at it a long time ago, but I'm saying like
No, someone said I
game, and
don't
I'm like,
trust Leo's opinion ever since I saw him push Dogecoin. Hey, bro, I have $100 in crypto, man. Hey,
no,
everybody loves a little doggy dog. Mark Cuban's talking about it, so
yeah,
I'm just on the. I'm just on the. I'm not gonna put a ban on that. I mean, I got money on different stocks, which I can tell you guys, but I'm not putting $1,000 on Dogecoin.
yeah, but no,
Uh,
I
no,
was
bro,
saying the Kings,
I I get what you're saying, Javi. Like,
they lost by 2 points to the Warriors tonight, brother. He had 28 and 14. Like, I still remember that game
and
vividly.
he missed a shot on that game. Like, he missed a shot to win the game,
He had 28 and 14 as a
but
rookie
he
though.
missed a shot.
But okay, listen. So in that game, he played 33 minutes. He had 28 and 14. Like, I know he missed a shot. He was 19 years old, bro. Like, I hear what you're saying, but like,
You're still holding hope for him,
that
and
was like in that Buddy Hield double clutch, I believe.
I respect it. Like, I respect your opinion. You
It's like
still
having a
have
nice
hope for
vehicle,
the
man.
kid. But if I can get Sadiq Bey, Malik Monk, any of these young players who also have as much upside as he does, no offense to him, it's again, you're making this about him being the number 2 pick. He should have never been the number 2 pick. So if he gets, which I had him number 7 on my big board, which I still think I had him too high. But if you draft him 7, you're not thinking like this no more, right? Like your entire perception is based off of what? That we passed on Luca. Like we must move on from that. We can't hold this to him and say you're the number 2 pick. You're not the number 2 pick. It just happened that we had an incompetent GM who drafted you at number 2, and that's it. If he got drafted 7, you wouldn't be saying this right now, right or wrong?
Correct. I
There you
just
go.
so he's a brand new vehicle and he has 4 ball tires. And I just like I'm ready to put the new tires on. And I have an inclination that's incorrect where like, hey man, the tires ain't coming. They're gonna stay bald and he's just gonna keep running on bald tires and always running wrong. But end of the day, I just can't trade him in for a lesser vehicle because it has 4 new tires, but the car don't run the way it does. Because when Marvin Bagley, I feel as all systems go, I just feel like he's going to be a good. I'm not a great player. I think he's going to be a good player in this NBA league that we're currently, watching the Kings struggling. But this league likes players like Marvin Bagley. Whether he actually develops into what his potential says he should be in the NBA is another whole other can of worms because in the day, his dad and everything else, what he's doing with the internet stuff is a whole other conversation. But at the end of the day, we look at his overall development as a player, his skill set, his potential, what he's done, what he can bring. We feel differently, but I feel like we can see Marvin Bagley develop into
But I
something
can literally make that same argument for Malik Monk. I can literally make the exact same argument for Malik Monk.
But what I'm saying is Marvin
Literally the same argument.
potential, you think is less, or you think is less than Malik Monk's?
I think both of them have a lot of potential. I think both of them have been disappointments to this point, and I think both of them should be coming off the bench. And well, Malik is, and the reason why is because they have a good coach. Shout out to my boy, first Mexican coach ever. But
Respect.
hey,
Not respect.
it's to me, it's like Malik Monk coming into that 2017 class was one of the most coveted players. Now again, and I keep saying, and this is the best way of explaining things. If Bagley would have went 7 or 11, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But because he went number 2 over Jaren Jackson, over Luka Doncic, over Trae Young, we have this false perception of him. But in my opinion, Malik Monk has the exact same potential. A guy who can get you buckets, like he can score on all 3 levels, literally has a ton of potential. He's a year younger. He was a higher recruit than De'Aaron Fox. Like, let's not, like, seriously.
Mhm.
So again, like, he has the potential. So to me, it's not wild to think like, oh my God, like, let's give these guys fresh starts. I was even talking to a source talking about Marvin Bagley for Garland because I don't think Sexton and Garland are a match long term, and either they sign either they want to give up on Sexton or Garland, and why not take a flyer on a guy like Bagley, who both teams, again, I'm trading them big for a guard, and in a sense, it would make sense for both organizations. If it's Charlotte, if it's Cleveland, Garland was a number 4 pick in the draft, bro. Like, and we saw him tonight. Like, he's a good player. He's averaging, I think, 15 a game. He's obviously too small to be his counterpart with the young bull, and they have to decide because that tandem isn't going to work. And I feel like they may have to go after a big unless they get a high pick. And then obviously the most coveted player right now in terms of bigs is Evan Mobley from USC. He's flat out balling. I watched Cade Cunningham play last night. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna front. Cade's a damn beast. Cade's gonna be a star in his league. Like, to me, it's Cade and everybody else. Like, Cade is your tier 1, and then I got Kuminga, Mobley, and Suggs, and maybe Green in tier 2. But Cade, I ain't gonna front, man. Like, Cade's gonna be a star. Like, he's so good. But yeah, I mean, that's how I feel about Malik Monk. Like, if that's on the table, I'd do it.
Yeah, and I respect that. You talking about Garland though, this 4th overall pick for what they change. What I just see is that they're going to offer Allen $100 million in free agency, so I don't see why they want to do that. But hey, I wouldn't be opposed for it because
to pair them together.
Okay, I just feel like they play the same because none of them can shoot from the perimeter. You know what I mean? That's a whole different conversation we can have also entirely. But what I'm saying is what I want to open up right now. We're talking about Marvin Bagley is a whole other can of worms, and that's John Collins because that's somebody that if we're like, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, if I'm gonna trade Marvin Bagley, I'll pair him.
But then pay him $25 million? Ugh.
Hey, we want Marvin Bagley to be John Collins, do we not?
Yeah, but fuck,
that's what he's gonna get if we extend him, right? It ain't like John Collins is 5 years older than Marvin. He's a year older than him.
He's 2 years older than him.
No, he's 17 class.
Yeah, but he was a sophomore.
Well, he'll be 24 this year. Bagley just turned 22, so
he's a 97.
Yeah, okay, he's 2 years older.
Yeah.
Okay, touche. He's a year older than him in the class, but he's 2 years older than him in age.
Yeah.
I don't care because I don't care.
I mean, I'm not arguing age. Like, age, okay. And I've been wanting to say this for a long time now, or at least for the last 3 weeks. I see this like, oh, this guy is a year, 2 years, 3 years. Nobody cares. I'm looking at everybody right now. Nobody cares how old you are. Damian Lillard came into the league as an older rookie, and guess what? So did Steph Curry. Nobody is complaining that they're in their 30s right now because they are superstars. When you get to the NBA level, this is a grown man league. Nobody is saying, "Oh, this guy is 2 years younger." Guys plateau at some point of their lives. It's just that's everybody in general, and in any industry, nobody cares that you're 2 years older, 3 years older, bro. Like if you're good, you're good, and they will pay you, and we're seeing that with Collins, and we're not seeing the same perception about Marvin Bagley. So, to your point, yeah, like, do I want him to be? He's exactly who he should be, right? But he's not, and again, age is such an overrated thing. Like 27 to 25, 23 to 26, it's not that big of a deal, man. And with today's science and the way guys are beginning to take care of their bodies and investing in chefs and nutritionists, and guess what? You're playing into your mid-30s now, man. So stop it with this. He's 2 years older. Bagley has more potential. No, no, no. Stop it. Stop it. It's all about years of experience in the league, to me at least.
Respect. And so, okay, let me throw this at you. If I'm the Kings right now, I'm calling. Excuse me. I'm calling Atlanta Hawks. And this is what I'm doing. I'm sending them. Now, let me see what you think first. Don't, Kings fans out there listening, this is what I would do because I feel like they need to get rid of Collins because they're not going to be able to pay him. And they want somebody to pair with Capella at a better price, at a cheaper clip. I also want to find a better scorer to pair with Trey because I don't think the Bogdanovich thing's working out for them, and they're about to ready to trade him. Would they do Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley, Justin James, and a lottery-protected first-round pick for Collins, Hunter, Dunn, and Snell?
Collins, Hunter. They're not getting rid of Hunter.
Dunn and Snell are the throw-ins.
Who?
Snell's expiring and Dunn hasn't played all year. He had to make the salaries match because Buddy's getting paid 24.
They'd get rid of Cam Reddish first. Like, they're not getting rid of DeAndre Hunter. Like, DeAndre Hunter's actually pretty solid.
I know he is. That's why I wanted him. But
Yeah.
But DeAndre Hunter, let me see.
They're giving up Cam Reddish, and they've already essentially made him available to teams. And
would you do it with Cam Reddish?
Yeah. So it's Bagley.
Right now, Hunter's averaging 12.
It's Bagley, Buddy. Who else?
Bagley, Buddy, James, and a protected first-round pick. I'm trying to determine if it should be 12 protected, if it should be, I don't know what level it would have to be.
If it's 2022, that's fine. I'm just not trying to get rid of my 2021 pick in this trade.
So 2022 first-round pick, Marvin, Buddy, James, Collins, Reddish, Snell, Dunn.
Yeah.
That's if you want to get rid of Marvin Bagley, that's the type of deal I'm making. And say, oh, why would the Hawks do that? Because they can't pay everybody. They pay Gallinari, they pay Bogdanovich, they got to pay Trae Young. They're going to pay. They're paying Capella chunks of money because of the contract he signed in Houston before he got traded to Atlanta. Rondo's still there. He's not getting paid too much money, but in the day, Trae Young's due for extension soon. Bogdanovich making 18. Gallinari's making 19. Capella's making 16. They can't pay all. They got Reddish, Herter. Like I said, they got Collins coming up. They have, like I said, they don't want to. You said they wouldn't trade the other guy, Hunter, because obviously they have a lot of potential in what they view him as their, future small forward. But in the day, they get the upside of Bagley. They get another year to make a decision on him. They get Buddy Hield to pair with Trae Young in the backcourt. They get James, who's a throw-in, and they get a first-round pick in 2022. If I'm the Kings, I'm saying that because then I get what we need at the 4. We can put Hunter as our backup 3. You have, Dunn, if he ever becomes healthy, we can see keep the tires on him at our backup point, and we can move Jeffries to play that backup, combo 2-3 shooting guard, small forward. End of the day, it's like you look at things from a Caps perspective. Tony Snell's just throwing; he's gonna be expiring. Now we're gonna use him, but the Hawks had to put something in motion, man, because they're not gonna be able to pay him. They're not gonna, and they say, "Oh, we're gonna match Okay. And what do we do to them? What the Hawks did to us with the trade kicker and all that other stuff with Bogdanovich? We do the same thing to them if we wanted because the Kings are interested in Collins. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking at the comment from Daryl. He said age matters if you got a 19-year-old and a 22-year-old at equal skill levels. You take the 19-year-old every time. Yeah, I mean if you present it in that way, but for the most part, most 19-year-olds are not as good as the junior or the senior. Say like the Dame, like the Steph, who comes out ready to ball in year one. And we've seen that time and time again. And yes, those veterans for the most part could just plateau, right? And have like not that much upside. And I understand what you're saying. Like GMs are going to draft potential and youth over the junior and the senior. But we've seen that it's a mistake because currently we got two of those guys in our top 10 of like superstars. Like those guys are superstars, generational talents. And they were 20, who are they? They were 21 already when they were rookies. So let's
Yeah.
not act like. So I'm looking at the draft class. But to your point about this hypothetical trade, again, I don't think they give up Hunter, and I think they'd be willing to give up Reddish, but
What do the fans think? I want to know that as well as you. I want to know. I mean,
yeah,
is
yeah.
that realistic? I mean, Healed, Bagley, James, a protected, not even protected. Healed, Bagley, James, 2022 first round pick for Collins, Reddish, Dunn, and Snell.
I
I think
mean,
that's
I would do it in a heartbeat. Uh, I think Snell's playing a nice role for them, and they're on the roll. Like they literally gave up the game tonight. They're going to be angry come Wednesday against the Kings. Like they gave up a huge lead against the Clippers tonight, but they've won 8 of 9 games with the coaching change of Nate McMillan, and I think Snell hit that buzzer beater not too long ago. I think they're really looking for a guy that can play now, and obviously Bagley's not going to play now.
but he
So,
can't.
but he can, yeah, but he can.
That's the
So,
incentive for them. They can stash away Bagley, brother.
yeah, I mean, but now it comes down to did John Collins and Trey Young put their differences aside, right? Right now
Well, it's
they're
not even about that right now, brother. It's about they're not gonna lose him for nothing come free agency. Like they can say they're gonna match all they want. That doesn't mean anything. If the Kings do what the Hawks did to the Kings essentially 7 months ago or so, or excuse me, 5 months ago in November, it don't matter what they match. We can put the trade kicker in. We can put the you if you resign him, you can't trade him for a whole year and all that other. You know what I mean? Like there are a lot of clauses they put in that Bogdanovich deal, and I know they're eating it now because they're like, why do we do that? But in the day, they did it.
would you trade Bagley for Norman Powell and Boucher?
No, I'm only trading Bagley. I would get Bagley
I would
first
do that in a
OG.
heart. Like, bro, I would,
No,
I would drive Bagley to the airport
you
for
drive Bagley to
Boucher,
the airport to trade him for.
for Boucher
No.
and Norman Powell, who was a dog. I mean, that's
You
the
will
type of guy that
you will drive Marvin Bagley to the Sacramento International Airport for Solomon Hill.
hell nah, not Solomon Hill. Hey, we have our first phone call of the night. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, Leo? What's up, Javi?
How you doing?
Hey, just want to say, just be a positive note. This is probably the best game I've seen the Kings play all season, in my opinion. Just seeing Haliburton and Fox be able to each take turns because there's too much work on Fox sometimes. But I think this is all a blessing in disguise because we get to see Haliburton to kind of show his stuff because the guy's a stud, right? He's he's not better than Fox, obviously, but first year he does look better than what Fox did.
For
But
sure.
Bagley, he was like the fourth option, right, on offense. And we both know he's not really ready to be starting. So I think that his injury is the best because I think Bagley will understand now he has to come off the bench just because Tyrese is freaking balling. And Bagley just needs more touches. So he has some experience now being in the starting lineup for a while. Now he's switched to a spot where he's going to get a little bit easier competition. He'll be able to touch the ball more. Now, I'll be honest, I'm a positive guy, and I do see increase in Bagley's play, even though it's kind of slow.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that I just think that I just give him a little more time because we're not going to get traded for him right now because his stock's really low. So I think the best bet is just kind of let it run out for a while, see how it goes, and then go from there. I don't think we're going to get that much in return for the guy. So I think that's the best thing we could do right now is just hope for the best.
So let me ask you this. Would you trade him for Sadiq Bey?
What did he say?
I don't really know enough about the guy, to be honest with you.
Would you trade him for Malik Monk?
Nah. I haven't really watched him too much, but the guy just seemed like a streaky scorer from the last time I saw him. But I wouldn't even really pay attention to him for the first couple of years.
Would you trade him for Norman Powell and Boucher?
Don't really know enough about the guys.
Okay.
Can you ask him who you shouted out? I forgot, or I didn't hear him, rather. What did you say?
Who'd you shout out?
Did you shout out something earlier? I'm sorry.
I went to Los Madonnas, man.
Hey, respect, bro. I went to Los Madonnas for there 2 years. Won championship there. 2 years, got a scholarship out there. Did you go there recently, man?
No, I'm 36, dude. So I went there back in the day.
Okay, yeah, I went there 2012, 2014. I went BBC Championship 2013 there. I got a scholarship there out of Los Madonnas Junior College of Pittsburgh. Respect to you, man. Mustang forever. You feel me?
Oh, good Sam, man. And, dude, good commentary, man. You guys make a good combo.
All right, brother.
Appreciate it.
What was your name?
Derek. I'm the guy that did you on Dogecoin, bro. I was just playing.
Hey, I appreciate you, Derek.
Nice to meet you, Derek. You have a good one, man.
All right, man. Great call there, man. Great call by Derek. Mustangs in the building. What?
Right, Pittsburgh, California. Better recognize. 2013.
Better recognize, man. Better recognize. Yeah, I think we've had a productive show. I'm sure a lot of people are loving this because fans love hypotheticals, right? Like, would you trade this guy for that guy? And people are saying, yes, Tyrese was better than Fox, but Tyrese is a little bit older. But I'm not making excuses for Fox. Fox didn't really get the keys, and he wasn't playing big minutes under Yeager because they had George Hill. And even though Tyrese hasn't started, he's still playing 28 minutes plus every night. So you got to take that into context. But yes, Tyrese has had a better rookie year. But we'll see. Again, there's a lot of sophomore slumps. I hope not. I think his IQ is so high that he may, even if he has a sophomore slump, it won't be as noticeable. I think what went on the past few games with him where he struggled, it wasn't that he was going through a rookie wall. To me, it was the fact that he got injured and that it's really difficult to really come back from any injury, really, and just try to get your timing, your rhythm back. Like, basketball literally is all rhythm and timing. So I just feel like that rookie wall, however you want to categorize that, go ahead and do it. But his IQ is so high that I just think he's gonna be a positive player for the rest of his career, barring some insane injury, man.
And last thing on the trade, and I definitely agree with the sentiment on Tyrese and De'Aaron, but I try to plug in Cam Reddish. Salaries won't match because he makes a lot less than Hunter. I think $3 million, and that's something that with the trade exception we just used, we can't send that to Atlanta. So I try to put in Solomon Hill, but then that's 5 players for 3, and I don't feel like that's very likely. I mean, I don't know.
What does Hunter make and what does Cam make?
Hunter makes 7, and Cam makes 4, and that made the difference because I would have to cut like $2 million in salary being sent from Sacramento to Atlanta.
They'll probably just cut Hassan Whiteside then.
No. Atlanta is sending because and you do the trade, Leo. You go try trade. It's failed because they obviously are going to send out 19.6 in salary that are going to take back 125%, and that to be $4.9 million from the Hawks' incoming value of the overall trade. So if you add up the salaries, they're taking in 24, 32, 36, 39, and the Kings are only taking in 12, 16, 20, 24. So it's like because Redditch made, $3 million less made the difference. But
Michael Garcia said we need to build our team around Bagley and trade Fox and Haliburton. People are like, we almost reported you, man.
To me?
No, Michael was just trolling. He was just playing. He's like, we should build around Bagley, man.
I don't know about that, but I just don't want to get rid of him for 50 cents on the dollar right now.
I know, but it's not 50 cents if that other player has the same upside as him.
I just see what Trish, put out there with that trade proposal though. Like, you wouldn't do something like that
with Atlanta?
Like Dunn, Reddish, Collins.
Yeah. I would. I think everybody in the comments said yes to that. But like Boucher, bro, and literally like Boucher would be the best backup center with like starting potential. Like that, I mean, that defensive prowess and his ability to shoot the actual shot with a dog like Norman Powell, this team instantly becomes so much better. Like
I'd rather
so
give
much
them
better.
I'd rather give them Bagley and Hield and a 2022 first round pick for OG and Powell.
I mean, I would too, but I
mean, they wouldn't even consider it.
I mean, I would too. I mean, you don't have to convince me about OG. OG was a guy who I love coming out the draft. I understood that he was injured, that a lot of teams were scared of it. But that dude got tree trunks, and he would have been a top 10 pick if he wasn't hurt. Like, that's a fact. Like, that kid is so good.
Yeah, I hope before Thursday, I mean, probably, like I said, sooner than earlier, it's something where...
Would you trade Bagley for Cam Reddish?
Oh. I would think about that trade. I would think about it. I mean,
how is it different than Cam Reddish and Malik Monk, though?
No, that's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm talking out both sides of my mouth. Like I would think about, obviously, I would think about the Monk trade. But I want to trade, I want to package somebody with him to go get John Collins. Like,
yeah.
I don't want, oh man, we traded him for somebody who had potentially turned out to just be a bust. Like, at least I know if I'm gonna pay John Collins $90 million, $100 million, he's gonna give me 19 and 10. Like, I know he's gonna do that. Like, he might not have anything else where he's not gonna ever average 25, but he's not gonna give me 11 and 6 one night. He's gonna give me 19 and 10 every game. Like, that's what I know. And him with Rashawn Holmes, Harrison, Tyrese, or Buddy and De'Aaron, like, that's a good starting five. Like, period. And then I'm saying if you put Reddish on the bench with Jeffries and Dunn, and then you have, the Bielitsas of the world and Whiteside, that's a good team. That's a good team. Like, they not compete for the top 5, but they're at least top 8, top 10, at least in playing. And I just, like I said, right now, I want, Lonzo, I want Beal or Collins. You can't have both, but I'm saying, like, I want them to move by Thursday, but we'll have a show to cover. I don't want Sadiq Bey from Marvin Bagley. I don't want, Powell.
Well, the Pistons don't want Bagley for Sadiq Bey.
I don't want that.
But the Pistons don't want that either.
This is how I'm gonna do it. This is my viewpoint. This is exactly how to label it. I'm trading Marvin Bagley, one of our high-priced starting caliber players, for a player that we can put as a pillar of this franchise and have good faith in doing so.
Sadiq Bey will start for the Kings.
At the 3?
Yes.
And how much production would he offer compared to John Collins? Because we're going to put Harrison at the 4, and look how undersized we're playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why? I know what you're saying, but at the end of the day, when we play the Lakers and the Clippers and, the Denvers of the world, those teams in Utah, they're going to kill us in the paint. If we have a John Collins, we got some here.
John Collins don't play defense, though.
He's good, huh?
John Collins don't play no defense, though.
I know, but he's not 6'9".
Yeah. What is he, like 6'9", 6'10"?
Okay, who's bigger, him or Harrison?
Maybe him by like an inch.
No. I mean, Collins is a true power forward. Harrison's a small forward that's muscular enough and almost on to play the power forward. But we know we want Harrison at the 4 or the 3, not the 4. He plays the 4 because I don't want to say out of desperation, but because we don't have a true 4 that we can rely on the way that we rely on Harrison in the paint. Interior in regards to defense. But we know, let's see, John Collins right now, he might be 6'9". I don't know. I just feel like when I look at Collins, he plays a lot bigger than Harrison. Do you feel different?
I just don't love John Collins,
Collins
bro.
is 6'11".
Who?
Collins is 6'11". What are you talking about? He's 6'11".
That's what they list him at. But I mean,
Harrison is 6'9", and he's not 6'9". You can't have it both ways, brother. You can't have Harrison at 6'9" and then say, well, Collins listed at 6'11", but he's not really 6'11".
I think he's like 6'9", and like Harrison Barnes like 6'7".
And that's my point. No, he's listed at 6'8". Harrison's listed at 6'8".
Now you're going down an edge.
Look, I got it right here on the phone.
At the end of the day, whatever you're listed at doesn't matter because it's all about wingspan, and that's really all that matters. How do I know? Bagley got a short wingspan, and then Donovan Mitchell is 6 feet, but he got a 6'10" wingspan, and he makes up for a lot of it. And
that's crazy.
That's pretty crazy. That's
wild. 6 feet and he's 6'10" wingspan. That sounds like he's from a different world. Like he's not.
Facts. Yeah, man. Make sure for everybody that's watching this to hit the like or dislike. It helps us out a lot. If you guys haven't left us a review on iTunes, please do so. It helps us out a lot there as well. You guys can listen to this on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you get your podcast. It will be available within the next 30 minutes, guaranteed. That is my promise to you. Within the next 30 minutes, it will be available on audio, because we all know that when you're working out and you want to listen to some Kings basketball talk, you tune into the CK podcast, man. But I appreciate you, Javi, as always. I appreciate every single person who joined the live stream. We had a lot of good arguments, good debates on this show. I love the fact that we're on different sides of the whole Bagley thing, because that makes for a better show, for a better conversation, always. But I think our principles are the same in terms of not tanking, of wanting to win now. Javi wants to, package him up, and I want to get better now by getting like 2 players, if possible. I'm okay with that, but I'm also okay with what, John Collins could potentially bring. I'm just scared to pay the man $25 million. That I'm afraid of. But other than that, though, yeah, we're good, bro. Any final thoughts?
Who would you rather pay? Well, last thought, and I have one comment. Who would you rather pay in free agency than a player of Collins' caliber? Think about that, because I know his benefit to this team, getting rid of Collins or getting rid of Bagley and Hield in exchange for Collins, allows Haliburton to start on that rookie deal. You pay Collins, you pay Rashawn. That starting lineup is terrific. You got De'Aaron, Haliburton, Harrison.
But then
Collins,
I don't know if you have cap space.
No, but this is why you do.
To sign somebody.
Bielitsa, Parker, Hassan Whiteside, all expiring deals. That's $28 million right there, brother. That's $28 million.
Well, 25 is going to Collins, so you only got 3 to spend on Holmes.
Yeah, but Hield comes off you essentially exchange out Hield and Bagley's money for Collins' money. So that's where the notion is slighted. That's where there's no jaded conversation or argument, because Buddy's at 25.
Oh, you're saying if you make that big deal.
What I'm saying is the money that you're going to pay Bagley and Marvin next year, you're going to pay Collins. And then the money to replenish your bench, Bielitsa, Parker, Hassan, Corey Joseph. You buy out Corey at 2.4. Bielitsa, Parker, Whiteside, expiring contracts in each and every one of those 3. Those 3 are gone with Joseph. You put those 3 also on the free agent scrap heap because they're going to be expiring. You have $28 million to spend to improve your bench with Jeffries, and if you want to put in Woolard the second, obviously Tyrese.
I don't think it works like that. I think.
What do you mean?
Because it's not like salary for salary, if I'm not mistaken.
What I'm saying is, brother, Tyrese will start at the 2. Buddy Hield's contract and Marvin Bagley's contract come off our salary. They are no longer on our cap. That money becomes voided. But then you extend.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it
No,
does.
no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't because you're in a sense matching salaries. So you're getting Snell, which is expiring, but you're getting Cam Reddish, who isn't expiring, and you're getting Dunn, who isn't an expiring deal. So that
Those are
money.
four. Those players making four each though, brother. So even if we got both of those at four each, it's still 20 million because you subtract the 8 from the 28. Because between Joseph, Parker,
So you got 20 million, and you got
Hassan,
two.
that's plenty. That's plenty to get bench players.
No, but Rashawn's an unrestricted free agent.
Okay, so listen. Okay, listen. This I've thought about this figuratively as well as competently. So De'Aaron, Haliburton, Harrison, Collins, who's going to make 25, and Rashawn Holmes. Between Heald and Bagley, that's $36 million. So Collins gets 23. And the other 13, the 15, you give to Rashawn Holmes. So the difference in the pay between Bagley and Heald is the difference of what you'd pay Collins and then the extension for Rashawn Holmes. Then you look at, you said Dunn, you look at Snell, you look at Reddish. Snell, goodbye, 12 million right there. He's gone because he's expiring.
Right.
Joseph, buyout 2.4. Bielitsa, Parker, Whiteside, expiring contracts. That's 2, 6, and 6. That's 12, 7, 6, and 2. That's 15. Joseph 17, and then Snell is another 12. But I know there's a cap number in there where it will meet the contract, a ramification for that contract. But they have between $17 and $28 million, $29 million in available cap money, and they don't need to get a whole 5 set of new players on the bench. If you have a Dunn, a Jeffries, and a Reddish off your bench, you need a backup 4, you need a backup 5. And if you have your starting 5 of De'Aaron, Tyrese, Harrison, John
I'm gonna
Collins,
double check on that.
John Holmes. I did my research, brother. You know, my homework. I've been doing homework since day one. You got De'Aaron, Tyrese, Harrison, Collins, and Rashawn Holmes. Your backup 1, 2, and 3 are done. DaQuan Jeffries and Cam Reddish. You're gonna go find a backup 4 and a backup 5, and you got a top 18. Or you use your first round.
I'm not arguing about the talent. I'm just trying to figure out.
No, the money will work. I'm telling you, we can break it down in the podcast. We can do it, on the phone. I'm telling you, I did my research. I know, it sounds like a stretch, but it's really not because Snell's expiring. Those 3 other players are expiring. And if you include Corey Joseph will be the 4th, the $2.4 million buyout. That's essentially 5 players expiring.
Well, I'm not good at math, but let's whiteboard that on the next show.
Okay. Last comment. I want to say rest in peace to my Theo Ricky, passed away today. I love you, and we all love you in the Zaragoza family. And, may you rest in paradise, and the Creator take good care of you, man. I love you forever, and, rest in peace, Theo Ricky. I miss you.
Rest in peace, Uncle Ricky. That's going to do it, y'all. We appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you guys so much for all the support, as always, for the engagement. We love engaging with you guys. It's a Kings family. It's an NBA family. We love basketball. So let's end it on that. We'll see you guys very, very soon, man. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.